Thanks for joining me again this week. Tuesday was a landmark day in Montgomery County as the County Council passed the Rent Stabilization Bill. This bill will cap yearly rent increases at 6% or inflation plus 3%. I'm looking forward to signing this bill into law as soon as it reaches my desk so we can start helping renters without delay. This is a victory for the 35% of Montgomery County residents who rent, and it helps bring stability to our entire community. It brings much needed certainty and clarity for both tenants and landlords, ensuring a fair return for landlords while still making necessary repairs. While this bill is an important step forward, I want to note that this was definitely a compromise bill. While it caps the annual rent increase at 6%, it allows the increases to go up to 6% even if inflation is only 3%. For more than 30 years, the county's voluntary guidelines were tied to inflation, common sense notion that landlords should be able to have their rents keep pace with rising costs. This bill breaks that link. If landlords were to take full advantage of the law and raise rents by the full 6% every year, it would especially burden the large number of lower-income households that call Montgomery County home. They would have a hard time keeping pace since their wages rarely, if ever, go up 6% a year. We will closely monitor the impact of the forthcoming law. I hope that given that rent increases have averaged only 3% or less for most of the last 30 years without any rent stabilization in place, that the previous pattern will remain the rule, not the exception. While we don't often relate this to our business communities, lower wage workers typically work for county businesses, and if rising rents drive these workers out of the county, it could have consequences for small businesses trying to keep their workforce. I was proud when we raised the minimum wage to $15 an hour, and we tied future increases to inflation. At the time, we heard from a lot of people who thought it was too much, and we were not asking for the inflation plus 8%, like one of the original proposals, or inflation plus 3% that was passed. I would guess that opponents of these limits on rents would be furious if we applied the same logic on rents to how we approach the minimum wage and allowed wage increases to be inflation plus 3% every year. I don't think they'd be very happy with that. The bill also includes a 23-year rolling exemption for new buildings, which is well beyond the typical 15 years. As you can see from the chart, about 30% of renters are in units that were built after 2000. That leaves them unprotected from potentially unsustainable rent hikes. Some believe we should address affordable housing challenges through our existing affordable housing program, the moderately priced dwelling unit program. But there are only 6,700 MPDU units in our county. We only produce a few hundred a year. In a county this large, that is a small amount. In fact, it's a bit of a joke if this is some people's idea of what an effective housing program is. For example, almost 50,000 households in this county earn less than $50,000, and most of them are not even eligible for the MPDU program, and typically spend more than half their incomes on rent. I supported the deliberate design of the bill to include a fair return process, so that if the automatically allowed rent hikes are insufficient to cover a landlord's cost increases, they can apply for larger increases to cover their costs and maintain their profitability. The bill also includes a separate provision to allow increases for major capital improvements. This allows building owners to get rent increases for major repairs, allowing them to maintain their net operating income percentage, again, maintaining their profitability. Overall, I'm pleased that this bill passed, and it will help protect the long-term affordability of housing in this county. This success is the result of the collective effort of council members, advocates, our housing staff, and community members. I want to extend my gratitude to the advocates, activists, and renters of Montgomery County who tirelessly pushed for this legislation. I've been involved in this issue going back to my days in the mid-'80s on the Tacoma Park City Council. I've seen firsthand that meaningful rent stabilization can make a real difference in people's lives. Stable housing costs provide securities for families and eliminate the fear of unreasonable rent increases, forcing them out of their homes. From a school and learning perspective, and as a former teacher, Stable rents allow people to remain in communities, and it reduces student mobility, and that is a plus for learning. Most of us are homeowners. Imagine how we'd feel and what it would be like if we faced uncertainty every year over whether a mortgage on our house was going to increase based on the whim of a bank and leave us unable to stay there. Stability in housing is important for everyone. I especially want to thank Scott Britton, the new Director of the Department of Housing and Community Affairs. Scott has done an outstanding job explaining, working with, and educating and addressing the council members' concerns. I also want to thank my housing team as a whole and all the efforts they're making to produce, preserve, and protect affordable housing. Let's continue working together to make Montgomery County a place where affordable housing is accessible to all and where our communities can survive and thrive. I want to highlight another crucial initiative that will positively impact tens of thousands of families in the county. We've secured state money through the Maryland Connected Devices program to help 34,000 low-income families with much-needed access to computers. Our goal is to use Maryland Connects to put a Chromebook laptop in the hands of families that are already enrolled in benefit programs like SNAP food benefits, Medicaid, free school lunch, WIC, or SSI. Families benefiting from Pell Grants, Housing Choice Vouchers, and Project Rental Relief Assistance are also eligible. Additionally, anyone enrolled in Affordable Connectivity or Lifeline Internet or telephone discount programs qualify. This program is targeted at households earning less than 200% of the federal poverty rate. A family of 4 earning less than $60,000 per year would qualify. Having a computer is not a luxury, it's a necessity in today's world. While schools may provide access to computers for children, we understand that every family member should have their own tool for learning, working, and staying connected. Currently, 21% of Montgomery County households could qualify for help. They are at a great disadvantage, and we're working to level the playing field. By providing access to technology, we empower anyone to thrive in today's digital age. To learn more about eligibility, please visit the website montgomerycountymd.gov/computer. We have a special event this weekend that celebrates our connection to the land and the farmers who cultivate it. The annual farm tour and harvest sale will take place Saturday and Sunday across 21 farms. This event is a good opportunity to engage with our local community, support our farmers, and experience the joy of fresh, locally grown food. Come out and shop local, savor the taste of farm fresh produce, and witness the beauty of these working farms, which are part of our cherished agricultural reserve. You'll have the chance to get up close with farm animals and learn about the intricacies of farming. These tours are self-guided and driving-based, allowing you to create your own unique experience. Most of the participating locations and events are free to attend, offering a wonderful chance for all members of our community to partake in this agricultural celebration. Some sites or activities may request a small fee for specific experiences like fruit or flower picking. Additionally, there will be products, food, and drinks available for purchase at the farm tour locations. Nearly 1/3 of our county's land is dedicated to agriculture. We take immense pride in preserving this land for farming and making us the nation's leader in farmland preservation. With 558 farms and 350 horticulture businesses flourishing in our county, the economic impact of farming is substantial, contributing $282 million annually. Our community is fortunate to have one of the most vibrant farming and craft beverage industries right in our backyard. The farm tour offers a great and unique chance to explore and appreciate the beauty of this essential aspect of our identity. You can find the digital brochure of participating farms on Montgomery County's Office of Agricultural website, montgomerycountymd.gov/ag services. I want to acknowledge the death of former county attorney Marc Hansen, who passed away last weekend. Marc had retired earlier this year after 37 years in the county attorney's office, and the last 12 spent serving as the county's top legal expert. Throughout his career, Marc provided invaluable advice and guidance to many leaders, including county executives like me, county council members like I was, and thousands of colleagues. He was a trusted mentor whose impact was immeasurable, and his loss is felt by professionals in our office, federal courtrooms, and the state's Attorney General's office. Our hearts go out to Marc Hansen's family, friends, and his colleagues. COVID-19 remains a low community threat, and for the first time since the pandemic began, the total number of Americans dying each day is no longer above the historical averages. The number referred to nationally as excess deaths had been elevated since March of 2020, 3 long years ago, a sign of the grip that the pandemic had on us nationwide that now seems like it's truly beginning to come to an end. There will be a new booster shot available this fall that scientists are working on now, but it will not be a bivalent booster, most likely. That means that the original strain of the virus won't be used in the next vaccine or booster shot. So that's a wrap for today. I hope you have a great week. I hope you enjoy the farm tour if you get a chance, and I'll be back again next week.